in my third trial, in order to give me a longer sentence, they categorised me as the general. They gave everyone ranks because this was a big conspiracy trial, once again, to do the Animal Liberation Front. I was the kind of national press officer. Roger was the northern press officer, and there were other people involved in the trial. Some of the people were activists, and Viv, who edited the ALF Supporters Group newsletter, she was on trial as well. Big conspiracy trial. And I was labelled as a general. I think you were a lieutenant, weren't you, Roger? They gave you the rank of lieutenant. And I ended up getting a 10-year sentence. But that reputation kind of followed me into prison. I got the reputation as somehow as being some kind of gang leader. The final prison I was in was a place called Channings Wood, which is down near Newton Abbot in Devon. It's a semi-open prison where there was a big fence around it, but within the prison you had quite a lot of freedom. To prison officers used to take a group of prisoners, and obviously they'd probably have to be the more trusted prisoners, for camping weekends on Dartmoor. They always used to ask me if I wanted to go, and I always refused. I said, the last thing I want to do is camp on Dartmoor with a load of prisoners. Do you know what I mean? It's bad enough being in the prison with them, but camp on Dartmoor with them in a bloody tent. So I always used to refuse. But a lot of the prisoners were very enthusiastic for this because, they found prison life boring. It'd be more exciting to be camping on Dartmoor for a couple of nights. So anyway, there was one of these camping trips to Dartmoor, and afterwards, like, a prisoner come in my cell and he said, "Listen, I've got something to tell you, Ronnie." He said, "This guy," he named one of the other prisoners. He said, he was on the camping trip. He tried to stamp on a frog. We were walking along, and there was a frog hopping on the path in front of us, and he tried to stamp on the frog. That's right. I said, he gets out quite soon, doesn't he? He's released quite soon. And this other guy said, "Oh yeah." I said, "Well, I shall put the word out to the boys then. They'll be ready for when he's released. I'll tell the boys." This guy went away, and a couple of hours later, the prisoner that was meant to have stamped on the frog came to see me in a terrible state, and he said, "Ronnie, please, Ronnie, let me talk to you. Let me explain. I didn't try to stamp on the frog. That's just not true. I was walking along, and the frog just jumped in front of me, and I avoided the frog. I did avoid the frog. I didn't deliberately try to stamp on a frog. No, that's completely untrue."
Typical, isn't it? Everybody tries to blame the frog.
Yeah. Every time I blame the frog. And I said, "Are you sure that's true?" I said, "Because that's not what I heard. That isn't what I heard." He said, "No, it's true. I swear to you, Ronnie. I swear to you. I swear to you." I said, "Right." He said, please call the boys off, please. And I said, "Well, I'll tell you what." I said, "All right." I said, "Just this once." I said, "I'll put the word out to the boys and I'll call it off." I said, "But if I hear you doing anything at all, the rest of the time you're in here, anything at all against any animal, the boys are back on again. They'll be back on." And he said, "No, I'm not. I won't do anything. I promise." And he was going, "Thank you," like that.
Well, I hope in a weird way though that seed was planted, even if it was like via the threat of violence. It was.
But it was just mad. It was just kind of crazy. They thought that I had all these kind of a big gang of boys.
Maybe 30 years later, when he goes for a walk in the park, he's terrified of encountering a frog.
Well, the man never left his house again.
Never went out again. No, he
sits there at the window with his binoculars, waiting for men with balaclavas to turn up.
I know.